Hi guys! Welcome back again to my beauty garden. Actually, this is not my backyard and garden because this is I'm going to introduce you my favorite indoor plant. I don't know if you heard about the midnight cactus orchids. So anyhow, this plant, I've been growing this plant for about 5 years now, and actually I did enjoy the bloom and its fragrance of this plant. So this is the time of the year. Actually, the origin of the plant is this is a desert plant. So anyhow, I apologize that you cannot see the bloom because the bloom of flowers is very beautiful, but it only bloom in April to May, and May is the month that this variety of cactus is in full bloom. So in June or middle of May, you can see that after the bloom, the small pear, I'm going to show you, like a small pearly cactus come out of, for example, like this is a bloom. Later on, like middle of May, you'll see the little spear or a pear coming out from the blooms. So why they call this midnight cactus or orchid? Maybe you're wondering why. They call it midnight cactus is because it blooms only at night. When I said night, they bloom at about 8 to 9 o'clock at night, and the bloom slowly or gradually closes up or close the bloom, so you won't see its fullness, the beautiful and rareness of its bloom. The bloom will resemble that to water lily. I know that everybody knows about water lily. So I have two variety of this. This is a red one, and when they bloom, it's really like huge flower, like water lily flower. So this is red, and I got also yellow, but I didn't bring it here right now. I already put that away in our attic. But now it's the same thing, same almost like same variety with different color. So one more thing that maybe you'll wonder, like how they gonna be pollinate. Since they bloom at midnight, of course the bees or flowers cannot pollinate. And I'll tell you why if you don't know yet who is pollinating this very rare plant. So I'll tell you that I'm kind of shocked at first because I'm just wondering that every like middle of or early spring or middle of spring, I saw the blooms coming out from this plant. So I'm wondering like who did the pollination because I didn't do it. And the bloom, I don't really see it, not until I researched that the blooms only come out at between 8 and 9 at night, and the time I wake up in the morning, they're all shut, or the blooms all shut up. So I don't have the chance to see them. So after I researched this, I got so excited and curious, and I started sort of like really taking good care of them, and I want to plant more of this because of its uniqueness. So anyway, this is midnight cactus or orchids, and you said that I'm going, since I just did my research the other week, I'm sorry that I have to read this little info here. And they said like why cactus flowers bloom at night. The bloom lasts only a night and finish by noon the next day. They have huge flower that almost resemble the water lily blooms. And if you have cats or dogs, don't worry also, because this plant is not toxic. Of course, like I already mentioned that the moth or the bat is a nocturnal pollinators of this plant. So bats, there's no bats in our house, inside the house, but we got moths because we live in the countryside, so we have tons of that. So okay, these are some of the infos they're gonna give you. So anyhow, okay, one more thing is really very interesting also for those people that didn't know. Every cacti or cactus is capable of blooming when it's matured. I have a friend, I gave a friend this plant, and it's been like 5 years. with her, but she told me that she never seen any bloom. So I think the reason why she didn't see the bloom because I think it's matured enough because she said like normally, okay, sorry, I'm going to read a little info about this. Every cactus is capable of blooming when it is matured or it is well, depends on its age and the care it gets. Some cactus don't bloom until they are more than 30 years old. Well, maybe I'm lucky because when I have it, it was given to, or I bought it from a friend who moved to another province in where I am in Canada. It's sort of like matured already. I forgot to ask how old it was when I bought it from her. So the next spring, I saw the huge bloom of this like red one. I got so like mesmerized and so curious because I never seen this plant before because they bloom only at night. So anyhow, that's part of the characteristic of this plant. So again, you might be asking like how you're gonna propagate or expand the growth of this. Well, you can plant this through seeds, or if you allow that pear growing after the bloom, and if you plant it, you can plant that as a seeds, but it will take like 3 weeks or several months for it to really see the growth. But if you want to do the other way of germinating it, you choose the matured part, which is like this. This is a matured leaf. This is sort of like succulent too, and curvy. You choose the matured leaf like this, and you stick that in the soil, and it grow easy that way. So okay, what else I could say about this plant? And also, what else? I also did synthesize this because every summer I have to bring that outdoor. One more thing also that I'm gonna tell you is don't put this direct in the sun. I have that placed under our house is surrounded with the maple trees, so I put that under the tree where I have my pond. So I know for sure I can see that they're very healthy. As you can see, I got only few leaves here. The reason for that is because it's very moundy, and I don't want to have I don't want the plant to be too crowded. So I cut some of that, and I save some wet to regrowth it because I want to expand this or have more plants. So you can cut some of that too, like as I did here, because they need air also. So you have to cut like something very old or twingy, something like this at the back, like this. See, you don't need this. You can cut that. You can cut that with your hands. You can use your scissor, a clean scissor or a pruner. So I already pruned this. Not really pruned, but I removed some of the existing stem that is overcrowding the whole pot. So I know for sure next spring I'm going to have lots of bloom of this, and I'm very excited to show this to you next year. So with regard to care, with regard to or the tips of caring this plant, as I said, the blooms will depend on how you take good care of your plants. So the tips is you use a little bit like sandy soil and the potting mix. I put that, and I put also small like gravel at the bottom. And when you water that, you don't overwater that because they hate too much water. Don't put that, or don't allow the plant to sit in the water. When you touch the ground or the pot and we see that it's dry, you touch it with your finger and it's dry, it's time to water. So always remember that don't overwater that. And as I said earlier, they hate water. Don't allow this plant to sit in water. So okay, this is one of my favorite plant, cactus. And by the way, this plant originated in the desert country. So, and also one more thing that I remember that I almost forget is, why they bloom only at night? Why? It's because they take so much water, so they need to bloom at night. And there's also why they don't last long is because they're consuming too much water. So as I said, like they bloom at night from between 8 to 9, and its closest bloom in the midnight. So if you want to see and enjoy the bloom and the fragrance of it, you have to be awake before it's midnight, because that's the time that it closes its petals. So okay guys, I hope that you find this interesting, because I do. So hopefully you like this little video, and thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate your watching and your subscribing to me. And for those who didn't subscribe yet, please do subscribe, because I really appreciate it. And okay guys, and there's more interesting film or videos coming to you. So okay, thanks so much, I appreciate your time. God bless. Bye.